guest is a Hall of Famer, probably the greatest tight end to ever play in the NFL, who's got 3 rings, 1 with the Ravens, 2 with the Broncos, and he's our friend Shannon Sharpe via the Coward Global Satellite Network. Shannon, let me start with this. We talked about Todd Gurley. From what you saw last week with Todd Gurley, do you believe he's healthy for this game?
No. And Todd Gurley hadn't been healthy for the better part of 6 weeks. There's a reason why C.J. Anderson is on this roster. If Todd Gurley was 100% healthy, C.J. Anderson would not be on this roster. If Todd Gurley was 100% healthy, C.J. Anderson doesn't get 23 carries in the divisional. He's not the leading ball carrier in the NFC Championship game. So that lets me know that Todd Gurley is not 100%. Now, the thing is, Colin, having been a professional athlete, the thing you can do that when you are hurt, you can flash. You look at that long touchdown run that Todd Gurley had against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He flashed. You look at that TD run that he had against the Saints. He flashed. But when you're injured, those 2 drops, if I didn't know anything else, I say something's wrong with Todd Gurley. Because when you're injured, you are focusing on the injury and not concentrating on the football. So that told me everything that I needed to know about Todd Gurley.
Yep, and he missed a block. Anytime I've been hurt in my life, you get a toothache. It's the only thing in the world you can think about is the toothache. I gotta ask.
Exactly.
I gotta ask you. Stephon Gilmore of the Patriots guarded Robert Woods at practice for 4 years. Brandon Cooks was a Patriot. Aqib Talib was a Patriot. How big an advantage that 3 key Rams, the Patriots know all their weaknesses and all their strengths?
Well, sometimes that's a blessing and a curse, because you can fall and says, I know, and then they come out and give you something different that you haven't seen. For me, Colin, even when I played against guys that were on my team and went elsewhere, I just kind of, played it by my feel and kind of what I've seen on tape, because they're going to guard you. They're going to guard you different.
Yeah.
The thing is, and what you saw from Coach Belichick has changed over the years. Coach Belichick is okay now with taking the safety out of the middle of the field. He will vacate the middle of the field and go 0 coverage, because I would have never thought, if someone would have asked me in the AFC Championship game, do you think Coach Belichick will go 0 blitz? Do you think he'll just leave a single high safety in the middle of the field? I was like, no chance. And have Tyreek Hill run by him? But you saw what he did, and he caught Kansas City off guard in the first half. The thing that we know about Coach Belichick, and he's always been this way, he refuses to let your best player beat him. So whomever the Rams deem their best player, that guy's not going to beat Coach Belichick on Sunday.
Is there anything about this game, because there's a lot of things I can look to and say edge New England. Is there something you like about the Rams that you think to yourself, this could be problematic for New England?
Well, really, I think the Rams special teams are better, and you better watch out, because Sean McVay, he's looking to steal an extra possession.
Yeah.
He has no problem going for it backed up. He'll fake punch you. He'll fake field goal you. He doesn't matter. He's looking to steal a possession, especially if he feels the game is starting to get away from him. And you saw that again in the NFC Championship game, Colin, is that he went for that fake punt because he knows I cannot fall behind 16-0 or 20-0, and he fake punted him and ended up getting a field goal out of it, and I think it turned the momentum of that ball game. I think special teams, the Rams have a decided advantage. The question is, can the Rams make the Patriots one-dimensional? And when I mean one-dimensional, Colin, you know what that dimension is? You want Tom Brady to throw the ball 45 to 50 times, because if you let them run it like the Chargers did, if you let them run it like the Chiefs did, you have no chance of beating Tom Brady and this Patriots team on Sunday if they run it and throw it.
Okay, you 3 Super Bowls. I want to go to your first, 1997. You were a great player, but it was your first Super Bowl, and these babies are different. Were you a little nervous?
No, I wasn't, because, John had been to 3. Mike Shanahan had been the offensive coordinator in 2 or 3 Super Bowls. I think the thing was, Colin, I was young enough. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
And for all week, and everybody kept saying it was a regular game, it was a regular game, it's a regular game, it's a regular game. It really dawned on me when I came out there for pre-games and the stadium is half full. That never happens in a regular season game. And then you see 2,000, 3,000 media members huddle on the field, and you see cameras everywhere. And then it really dawns on you that this is not a regular game. But Colin, I promise you, once they kick the ball off, you really forget that it's the Super Bowl. You think it's just a regular season game. You just know the stakes are a lot higher.
By the way, you've got Trunigen in your hand, and I should be noted, after I do my show every day, I am always a little tired, and I'm looking for a little kick.
Yes.
And you have more energy than any human I've ever met. What is that thing? What is that?
You know what, Colin? I've been taking Trunigen for about 5 months. A buddy introduced it to me at the gym. And contrary to what anybody tells you, Colin, as we start to age, energy starts to dissipate.
Yep.
And I'm always baffled by people telling me I feel better at 55 and 60 than I did at 25 or 30. And my question to them, what the hell were you doing at 25 and 30 that you didn't feel that you didn't have a whole lot of energy? But that's besides the point. Colin, I'm with you. It's because you and I both, we have to get up early in the morning, 5 days a week, and we have to put on our best face, our best foot forward every single day. Me for 2.5 hours, you for 3 hours. And for me, once I get to the gym, Colin, or once I get to the CrossFit studio, I'm fine. Sometimes it's finding the energy to get dressed and get there is where I was starting to lack. And once I started taking this, man, Colin, my energy, I promise you, Colin, you will notice a difference. I give you my word.
All right. Oh, by the way, the Cowboys just hired 29-year-old Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator. John Goulet, the Cowboy fan here, is beside himself. I don't know if it's a good move or a bad move. What do you make of it?
Did you see that offense? With some of the best athletes in the world at the Pro Bowl, that offense scored 7 points. When they don't want to hit or tackle anybody, they got 7. At the end of the day, look, we can criticize Jason Garrett and says he's not a good motivator. He doesn't do this, yada, yada, yada. But, Colin, you and I both know the coach of that team is Jerry Jones. He gets all the success. He gets all the credit when they win, and he gets none of the culpability when they lose. And this is why they're in the position they're in. They could have had a Sean McVay. They could have had a Sean Payton. But when you go coach the Dallas Cowboys, you already know who's running the team. Who's going to have final say of the final 53? You're not going to have a whole lot of input on the draft. You're going to have a nice cush job at one of the preeminent sports franchises in all the world, the most popular, the most recognizable in all the world. But you're not going to have a whole lot of say. And I don't know anybody that doesn't have that's worth their a grain of salt or worth anything that wants that situation. I want to feel like I'm doing something besides clapping and co-signing whatever you put your stamp on.
Good stuff. That's why he's got a show. Shannon Sharpe, undisputed. Good talking to you, bud.
Colin, thanks for having me on, bro.
You bet. 3-time Super Bowl champ, Hall of Fame tight end. Yeah, that John, I can just sense with John Goulet that it has not been a good Thursday. Yeah. You know, it's funny because you grew up in Connecticut. Why don't you just jump aboard the Patriot train? There's a lot less pain.
At the end of the ride?
Yeah.
No, I should have done, granted, I should have done that 18 years ago, but I missed my window.
Goulet's the only guy ever from Connecticut who chose the Cowboys.
Then he would be a bandwagon fan, Colin. He can't do that.
What's wrong with being a bandwagon fan? I didn't like the Eagles until they had a bunch of hits. Do I have to like a band in the garage first?
I mean, music is a little different.
Is it? I mean,
yes.
I don't like jump on a band until I'm like, I hear them and they got something like,
no one's like, if you like, oh, I like this band and I like this band and I like this group, they're not like, oh, you can pick one group to be a fan of. If otherwise, you're not a good music fan.
Maybe I could be a fan like you of like one team that's your childhood team and then just add the Patriots. They're in their dynasty, but you're also an Andrew Luck fan, so you kind of root for the Colts. You can just kind of pick everybody.
I bailed on the Seahawks.
I mean, I have 2 teams.
Who? Yeah, Steelers, Dolphins.
Yeah.
I bailed on the Seahawks after like they were just crappy for years. I'm
Cowboys fans just refuse to accept the reality.
Then Russell Wilson arrived.
The misery of being a Cowboys fan is what really keeps me going, Colin.
You're from Connecticut. You got a team 5 minutes from your house, and you choose to be a Cowboy fan. That's not even bandwagon. You should have like you get a bandwagon pass free if you're from a state, and then all of a sudden your team in your state becomes good. You should just be able to say, okay, that's my team. You should get like a free bandwagon card for fans who grow up in a state, and it becomes the greatest, a bandwagon pass. Coming up next, 10 best players in the Super Bowl, and I think my list is different than everybody else's, and it leaves off a lot of great players. Speaking of age, don't let your age beat you. M-Drive is about refining your prime, right? Contains clinically tested ingredients, increases energy, boosts your natural testosterone levels, M-Drive, created by a world-renowned formulator over a decade ago who got into his 50s and wanted to feel like he did in his late 30s. Today, thousands of guys are part of Team M-Drive. Walmart, Walgreens, Vitamin Shoppe, Sprouts, GNC, get it everywhere. Amazon. My listeners can get 20% off. If they want to do it now, just go online. BuyMDrive.com, promo code HERD. Refind your prime with M-Drive. That's BuyMDrive.com, and the promo code is HERD. It boosts something you've already got in your body, testosterone levels, energy, stamina, drive. BuyMDrive.com.